Right, YouTube, is the Shadow King, King Nazru, here with a review for Rosario Vampire 2, Chapter 14. Kahlua Shuzin is awestruck that her sister, Mocha, is transformed into Inner Mocha. Mocha tells her older sister that it's been a long time, and then starts to kick her. And it's good to see that Inner Mocha has a witty sense of humor, although a bit more restrained. Uh, Inamoka then proceeds to try to tend to Skune, as well as the others, uh, as well as warning them that everyone should leave quickly because there's a good chance that Kahlua Shuzin could recover. But her prophecy of Kahlua uh, recovering, uh, came back even sooner than she had anticipated. Kahlua says that she's impressed that nobody died from her onslaught, and because she's assigned a mission to kill anybody who gets in their way, she has to use her true power. Uh, Inamo- Inamoka is completely taken off guard by the fact that her kick didn't KO Kahlua even for a moment. Uh, then Kahlua starts to congratulate her sister for her power, saying she is special, even amongst her family, uh, and saying even their father would be proud of her. Uh, and she goes on to say that despite her desires not to hurt anyone, she has to kill everyone because she's an assassin and that's her job. Then we see Kahlua remove her limiter, which is a cross-shaped earrings, and she suddenly starts sprouting bat wings where her arms was. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight when you first see it, but on the other hand, it's pretty nice to have multiple bat wings shaped. That could act like sickles just to tear down your enemies. Pretty nice. Uh, Glua swipes at Enemoka's head, uh, and it seems very graphic when she does it. Uh, when it sliced right through her head and her neck. But it turns out it wasn't actually Inamoka, but an after image. And she counters. Hmm, a warrior using an after image against a fight? That reminds me a lot about Dragon Ball. Still waiting for that Dragon Ball and Rosario Vampire crossover. Anyway, uh, as Kahlua and Inamoka continue to fight, Kurumu asks why Kahlua has bat wings when Mocha doesn't have such features. But Yukari explains that vampires have this thing called wealth of power, allowing them to shapeshift their body into rats or bats, which is what Kahlua is more or less doing, as well as giving them the other famous abilities vampires have, like turning into mist or uh, see, hypnotizing people tracking down their prey, all that. But the reason they don't use it a lot is because of their pride in their beauty, and they feel that changing into another creature is beneath them. Thus, uh, doing this ability was considered forgotten, and anyone who did it uh, nowadays would be considered a heretic. Hmm, heresy. Uh, sure, why not? Inamoka starts to doubt that she can defeat Kahlua Shuzin now, uh, and feels that she needs to be bold with her attacks. Wow, Kahlua must be a really powerful opponent. Even Inamoka has doubts she can win. I mean, I know she's been on the rails before, but she always assumed that she could beat the opponent. But with Kahlua, she actually doubts she can defeat her. Uh, Mizrae then says she wants Intermoka to stop, since all this is her fault. I mean, well, not her fault. It's all this has all been about her and her uh, arranged marriage to Fujisaki, and she says she'll go with Fujisaki and join Fairy Tail. However, Inamoka kicks her in the face for her lack of faith in her abilities and says she'll end everything. So remember, kids, never ever question Inamoka. Inamoka then asks Kahlua to not take it No, wait. Let's skip the part. Here we go. Inamoka tries to land a critical hit and manages to do so by kicking Kahlua hard in the stomach, which hits uh, a lot of her organs. Normally, this would leave the person severely injured and paralyzed. Inamoka asks Kahlua to not take this personally, but suddenly Kahlua uses her bat wings to stab right through Inamoka's chest region. I say it'd be at her heart and at her lungs. Not really sure how Inamoka survived that, but I'll just say that her vampirism is just that great. Inamoka thinks that there's no way Kahlua could possibly withstand that pain. I mean, so much pain, uh, and then deliver an attack. So she must be charmed to shrug the pain off. Uh, Kahlua then continues to stab harder into Inamoka, and the fight gets so brutal that the others are completely mortified by it. Then Fujisaki arrives to stop the fight. Damn it, ruined everything. Uh, Mizure and Kurumu wonder how Fujisaki could have possibly recovered from Tsukune's hit so quickly. Like I said, there's more to Fujisaki than meets the eye. Fujisaki says that their mission was accomplished, and he didn't order Kahlua Shuzen to assassinate anybody, despite them both working for a certain boss. Kahlua directly works for him. So this kind of implies that there might be certain factions within Fairy Tail. So like they're trying to fill their own ambitions, which is pretty interesting when we once we explore more Fairy Tail. Uh, Kahlua Shuzen is happy she doesn't have to kill anyone. Uh, Changes back to her normal self and passes out. Mocha asks why Fujisaki saved her, and he says he didn't do it for her. He then goes on to explain that Kahlua has the ability to paralyze her own pain, but after a fight, it catches up with her, and a fight like this could have caused her death. And since they decided to end the fight, he just decided to declare Mocha the victor. Honestly, I would have called it a tie because Inamoka was most likely going to die in the fight, and Kahlua would have died after the fight. Tsukune then asks what Fairy Tail's purpose is, but Fujisaki says he'll understand later, and they leave on the helicopter. And it turns out that the pilot of that helicopter is Kiria from the Antithesis group. So, which means that uh, now that Antithesis was gone as of the end of season one, uh, Kiria and most likely Hokuto have joined up with Fairy Tail. So they have a common goal. And we can assume that Fairy Tail and uh, Hokuto and Kiria's plans are the same in eradicating humans, since that's usually their stick. Uh, and Kiria says that to do this much damage to Fujisaki and Kahlua, that the newspaper club must have really gotten stronger since last they met, and both are looking forward to actually finding them again. We cut to the Snow Woman thanking the newspaper club for saving them. Ruby and the bus driver say it's time to go back, but before they head home, the Snow Priestess summons Jack Frost to warn Mizray that Mocha and Skune have a destiny together that'll change the world, and Mizray should be wary of that. But Mizray says she doesn't care about destiny, only about protecting what's precious to her. You know, Naruto could learn something from Mizray. Wow, these were a nice set of chapters. Uh, I liked how it's further establishing uh, fairy tale and just how intricate and uh, how intricate they are to the uh, story, as well as who they have aligned to them. Some of the villains that we had from Rosario Vampire One are also involved in Fairy Tail, and they're going to build up to very bigger things. And I liked Kahlua Shuzin, who was a conflicted character who just wants to live a peaceful life, I'm assuming, and love her sisters, but her she's dedicated to her duty and is prepared to kill anybody who she has to. And she's a worthy opponent to Inner going blow for blow to her and almost killing Inner even causing her to doubt her own prowess. So, yeah, this was a nice shit gets real moment. So, next time we'll see just where things head off to in Chapter 15.